Hey, it's Randy, here in the garage, just messing around, gonna fix a couple things. I'll also update you on some changes I've made to at least one bike here. Let's start with this is that, whatever, unknown frame that I got for free that I built up with a 700C wheel set. So when I originally built this thing up, the wheel set I put on there turned out to have, the rear wheel had a bent axle. And I didn't have any axles that were right for it, and I shopped around and couldn't find one that would work. So I just bought a new cheap wheel set for it. Also, I had originally used this cheesy little stem adapter, which I didn't really trust. It's the only thing I had that fit that forks steer tube. So what I did is took a little better stem adapter and I ground it down so it would fit in that steer tube. And that worked out nicely. Fixing a flat on the Schwinn clunker. Something I run into, here's the inner tube that had the flat. But what it is, they're just little cuts on the inner side of the inner tube that, comes in contact with the rim. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I use just electrical tape as rim tape. I don't know if I'm not making enough wraps with it, or when I put the tube in, something is off, that when it inflates, it does something weird. I really don't know. I just added a few more wraps of electrical tape and just went ahead and put a different tube in there, and we'll see what happens. That rear wheel is just way too difficult to get in the dropouts. I probably need to spread the rear triangle a little bit more one of these days. Well, I went to get this bike down to ride it this morning, and I had a flat. So I think since I'm going to have the wheel off anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just change out the tires on it, something different, just to give it a little different look. I know I shouldn't be clamping here, especially this is carbon fiber tubes, but there's no pressure on that at all. Seat post is carbon fiber also. I didn't even think about the pedals and the grips. Looks too much like Christmas now. I'm gonna have to come up with something to replace those. And there we have it. So the tires I put on here, just a cruiser tire with a brick tread. The brand is Phoenix, F-E-N-I-X. I know some people like limit the amount of times they'll patch a tube to like 3 or something. I really don't know why limit yourself. I don't know, maybe there's a good reason for it, but I just patch them until they're unpatchable, I guess. Just an old patch sprung a leak in the tube that I had put in there. This time I just put in a new tube, but I still patched the old tube, and I'll probably keep it. Well, this bike was going to be my choice for this morning's ride, but I swear this has just been the week of flats. Well, here was the cause of this flat. So when I put this tire on, I knowingly put it on backwards, at least according to the manufacturer's directions here. I just wanted the tread facing the same direction, both front and rear. But since I had the wheel off and to replace or patch the tube, I think I'll put the tire back on according to the manufacturer's direction. So the rear will be, the tread be going opposite of what the front is. I guess I don't know if this just gives you traction in the rear or what. The downside to putting these tires on properly is here we have a label, but they only print it on one side, so it's on the back side of this tire now. Oh, and yeah, I do got a Schrader valve in the back and a Presta. Geez, just drew a blank. A Presta in the front. These are just the tubes that I had on hand. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention about this bike earlier. In the build video, if you watched it, I was having problems getting these brake arms, you know, the brake pads in the right place on the rims, whatever. These brake arms actually needed to be a little shorter. It worked, but not ideal. Well, when I replaced the wheel set, the problem became even worse. So I tried moving the brake to the other side, like someone had suggested, but that didn't give me what I needed. So I ended up putting just a little, bracket here that allowed me to mount the brake a little bit higher and to get the pads where I needed them. There's a little flex in there. I need to put something a little more substantial in there someday. Well, once again, same old story. The bike I planned to ride this morning had a flat. So let's see what the cause of this one is. There was just a small thorn in the tire. Get that patched. So I get the front flat fixed yesterday. Take the bike out this morning. Get about a mile from home, and now the rear is flat. So looks like I'll be fixing another flat today. Jeez, what a week. So it was just a small thorn, just like what was in the front a day or so ago. So it's patched. Get it put back together. Yeah, kind of overkill on the patch here. But so I was at Walmart the other day and found this Ozark Trail mountain bike saddle on clearance for $17. It was normally like $34.50 or something. So I couldn't resist getting it. I'm looking at it now though, and it looks like it's kind of small. It doesn't say it's like kid's saddle or anything. Oh, let me get another saddle just to compare it to. Yeah, it's definitely a little shorter than these other two saddles, and maybe a little more narrow. I don't know. I'll give it a try though, sometime. So I just got back from coffee. Took my GT Timberline. I was kind of looking it over while out and realized that the front end or the cockpit here is pretty heavy with black. And I remembered I had both some blue and yellow grips, so I think I may change these out and just see what that does for it. Okay, well that's definitely not the right blue. Yeah, I think once I clean these, the yellow ones up, they'll match better. I think I'll go ahead and just put these on here, for now anyway. I don't know. Is that a little too much? Well, that was quite the mess of a video, but I hope you got something out of it anyway. So I guess I'll just end this video here. Hopefully I can get home without a flat. So as always, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.